Hey, this week we have some nasty dance floor stuff with a vocoded vocal sample for ear candy, and that is what you get with episode 17. Hello and welcome to the Track in a Week. I'm Tummur and this is your weekly music production diary. While beering, Saturday I was working with the last episode, the track of that, but I also did some testing with vocoder and I came up with this funky loop. There is something that I like really much about this loop, but now we are going to the hard part and try to make it a track out of it. So let's see what happens. On Monday the plan was to make a session, but I had really bad technical difficulties, so I couldn't make any music. On Tuesday I could have a session and I decided that I will go straight to the arrangement with just a couple of sounds on the plate. I laid the parts down and started to play with the arrangement. I listened to the piece and felt my way to the next parts of the track. As there was only kick drum playing, I felt that the rhythm section is the natural next step on the track. I played around with some samples that I have recorded at the house. I found a couple of interesting which I might use, but I think that they'll need some cutting and editing before anything. On Wednesday I decided to really hit on the drums and I chose the 606 drum machine. I like it a lot and it's not overly used, so that's a good starting point always for the track. Drum parts came quick and naturally because there was other elements already on the track and I just could decide what I want and where. The whole session went in flow state and that is some weird because usually that is only 3% of the whole creation time. On Thursday I continued by listening to the track once. I felt that the arrangement is okay and my main focus went into the bass sound. There were two bass sounds answering each other, but I thought that they were too similar. I wanted the sub bass to be really round and smooth, and the other answering phrase I would like to keep it as gnarly as it is now. So I reached for an analog synth and I did a sine wave bass and I reached for my subset to find some low end, and I have created the sub bass for this kind of situations. After the session, I took the track out as it is today and I will take it to work and listen to it in other environment. That way I get a new perspective for the track and I will write down some thoughts, what will come up while listening, then I have a proper list of things what to do tomorrow. So Friday started by checking out the list. There was things like how the bass sounds should work with each other and with the vocal sample. There was also a notion about the arrangement and about how the lead sound would need some distortion in it. I didn't hesitate to do the successions about the track because they were from another perspective. As I did the successions, I felt that the track came together really well, and some problems came apparent at the session. I felt that the session was really fruitful and effective. At the end of the session, I did a razor from a chord sound to really glue the track together. On Saturday, I separated all the drum hits to different tracks. The mixing session this way came really big, but I felt that it's really important that I have more control over the different instruments by that way. I was able to do the mixing at Sunday, so the week was pretty tight for this track. And this was the first track that I mixed in parts with Genelex, my new Genelex. I used Genes for stereo imaging and for hearing the depth of the field, but other parts of mixing I did with my headphones, as I have gotten used to them really good. I felt that taking the draft out in the middle of week speeded up the process for me very much, and I think I'll do it with next tracks also. Taking the draft out gave really good results, and as it is from a different perspective. That's it, and once again, if you would like to hear the full track, go to my SoundCloud page. I'll put the link in the description. And otherwise, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you next week with another track in a week.